Welcome back, and now for our big focus story at this hour. Technology, as we all know, have made things easier for us in a number of ways, but there are certain pitfalls. This applies to the issue of digital loans in particular. Mumbai cops are looking to block 100 rogue loan apps. This after a series of complaints about digital lenders blackmailing loan borrowers. Mumbai police have written to the National Nodal Agency, CERT, and Mumbai police have also said that the agency will now review their proposal and take a call to block the apps. At least 27 FIRs have been registered in Mumbai alone, all linked to rogue apps. The question we are raising here is, loan apps clearly have turned into a menace to trap unsuspecting people who are in financial distress. The ease of accessing the loan becomes a major lure. Also, the promise of transparency because of the digital medium draws borrowers to it. But is this treachery in the garb of transparency? It's a very simple modus operandi how these scam loan apps operate. It's running on your screens. They, of course, dangle the loan bait online. People grab it, and soon enough, they have recovery agents hounding and harassing you. So how can you protect yourself from loan sharks? Let me introduce our panelists joining us here this evening. Mr. Amit Dubey, cybersecurity expert, and Mukesh Pandey, founder of Rupyaapaisa. Very warm welcome to you, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Before I come to you with questions, I want to tell our viewers that the Maharashtra Home Minister has now taken cognizance of this menace. We spoke to the minister earlier. The police also, like we've been saying, are admitting that there are a number of these dubious apps operating and trapping people, unsuspecting people. And even after they are blocked, they often re-emerge. But let's first listen in to what the minister had to say.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मिरर नाउ से बात करने के लिए। सवाल ये है कि लगातार लोन ऐप केसेस, फ्रॉड केसेस रिपोर्ट किए जा रहे हैं। महाराष्ट्र का गृह मंत्रालय क्या कर रहा है, किस तरीके के एक्शंस इनिशिएट किए गए हैं इन सारी घटनाओं पर काबू पाने के लिए?
ये बात हमारे भी सामने आई हुई है कि काफ़ी ऐप जो है फाइनेंस रिलेटेड ऐप्स है वो बाजार में आ रहे हैं। इसके बारे में हमने एक कमेटी सेटअप की है और वो कमेटी को ये बताया गया है कि इसमें हम क्या क्या सुधार ला सकते हैं। पहले तो इस ऐप के बारे में हमने गूगल को लिखा है, गूगल को बताया कि इसके ऊपर कैसे कंट्रोल ला सकते हैं, आप वो देखिए। दूसरी बात ये है कि हमने गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को भी लिखा है, आरबीआई को भी लिखा है और उनको भी ये बात ध्यान में ला दी गई है कि ऐसे ऐसे लोगों की चीटिंग हो रही है, तो इसमें हमको तुरंत एक्शन लेना जरूरी है। और तीसरी बात यह है कि हम अभी हमारे स्टेट लेवल पे क्या इसमें कार्रवाई कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में कोई एक मीटिंग हमने रखी है। उसमें हमने सारे हमारे जो वरिष्ठ अधिकारी उनके साथ बात करके इसके लिए एक प्रॉपर मेथड जो है वो प्रॉपर मेथड हम एक तैयार करेंगे।
सर, सबसे बड़ी समस्या जो मेरी बात होती है, आईपीएस अधिकारियों से बात होती है, बहुत सारे साइबर एक्सपर्ट से बात होती है, सबसे बड़ी समस्या ये है कि हमारे पास कोई स्ट्रिंजेंट लॉ नहीं है इस पर काबू पाने के लिए। तो क्या इस विषय को लेकर के भी सरकार चर्चा करेगी, प्रयास करेगी कुछ ऐसे कायदे? और सबसे बड़ी कठिनाई आप लोगों के लिए क्या आती है, मतलब आप खुद भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में?
नहीं, दो बातें कि एक तो स्ट्रिंजेंट लॉ नहीं है, इसी के लिए जो कमेटी का चयन किया गया है इसी वास्ते किया गया है। और दूसरे जो अभी अधिकार देने की बात है, आज के तारीख में सिर्फ इंस्पेक्टर ये साइबर क्राइम का इंक्वायरी कर सकता है। तो मुझे लगता है कि इसको और नीचे तक अधिकार देने की आवश्यकता है और हम दे देंगे, तो इसमें से थोड़ा जल्दी निपटारा होगा।
Amit Dubey, if I may come to you first, there is of course the nodal agency CERT there is a cyber cell, so it's like, you know, there is certain sense of regulation, but yet the problem is it's become a vicious cycle. The loan apps may be blocked, but from what I understand, they re-emerge in a new avatar. So how can we really protect ourselves from falling into the trap?
practice has been running since almost 2.5 years now, especially during pandemic when people have realized like they need a solution to get quick money. And this practice was already there in China. But the same thing has been replicated in India by offering easy loan access to the consumers by just asking either a PAN card or Aadhaar card, that's it. So these are some special modus operandi that you can see where they are actually not only blackmailing people, harassing, threatening. It starts from threatening, then it goes to blackmailing eventually. And they create mobbed images of the person who has taken the loan. First of all, they already deduct almost 30% of the loan amount as a processing fee or GST. And then the remaining amount, even though the person has paid, they start blackmailing him, harassing him. And eventually it ends up paying 3 times, 4 times money of the loan amount. And even though it never stops. So
Yes.
all these kind of modus operandi, they come under the criminal breach of trust, unauthorized access of your phone, because they know your mobile phone data, they know your contact details, all your personal details and details about your friends and family members, everyone. And then they start approaching them with your mobbed images where you are naked or you are with someone. And that is something which becomes a mental stress to someone eventually. So these are the serious nature of crimes. These comes under cyber obscenity, criminal intimidation, extortion, forgery, cheating, criminal breach of trust. And all these things are done by call centers running just to collect money, just to threaten people. I think so. This is just not RBI guidelines. These are little beyond that. If you need to protect you against them, you need to keep 3 things in your mind. First of all, never ever take loan from any such app which is not on Play Store. First of all, because most of these apps should be legit only if they are on Google Play Store, because they are getting removed time to time. Second, if they do not have enough downloads, you can always check the number of downloads if they are specially created just to cheat people. Third, you need to see whether this particular organization has the license to loan, because they should be either NBFC or a bank. These are the 2 situations only when Indian organization can loan to someone. So I think these 3-4 things that you can check. Otherwise, you should not take loan or you should not get involved in any such app.
Very, very important information Amit Dubey is sharing with us here on how you can protect yourself. But like you said, this is an extortion racket. And I want to highlight one point. I hope it has registered with those who are watching us, that the permission to get full access, that is how it starts. They get full access to your phones, even your photo album. They can morph images and blackmail you. It has happened. There's been a case here in Mumbai where a person had to commit suicide because of the constant hounding and harassing by recovery agents. Mukesh Pandey, growing inflation, job losses, these are realities. And these have impacted people's life. There is a sense of desperation. Financial distress was something that, we all saw during the COVID time. So many people do fall easy prey for quick loans. What has been your experience in dealing with this menace? How can we do some sort of a course correction that these fraudulent, dubious loan apps do not trap people?
Actually, this is not the first time we are witnessing such cases. It has been in practice since COVID. There are many apps. Jo pehle it was supposed to be said Chinese app, and people are finding very easy to take money from these mobile apps. But a customer or a borrower should focus on few certain things. The company with whom, or the NBFC with whom they are taking this loan, are they registered NBFC? If they are not registered NBFC on those Google app, are they authorized vendor of those NBFCs who are actually marketing the products? And there should be a strict policy for Google also. Before giving access of mobile app to the consumer, they should verify all the documents related to all those apps, because any company who are into financial services, they should produce certain document that is related to their services, which is actually authorized by
Absolutely.
RBI of
Interrupting
India.
you here, extremely sorry for that. We have breaking news coming in. I'll come back to the conversation. Let's go to it, please. Well, here's the latest on the Moosewala murder case. Sources indicate first arrest has been made. The accused held from Uttarakhand. Manpreet Singh is the name of the person arrested. This is information just coming in. The very first arrest in Musewala murder case. Priyank joining us with more. Yes, Priyank.
Yes, apparently the police officials have managed to carry on with the first arrest in this case. Manpreet Singh is the suspect who was detained on the border of Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand yesterday, and he is said to be the one who was helping these shooters in this particular operation. Punjab police has produced him before the court, but more detail are yet to be shared by the police officials because police think that this can hamper the investigation when the accused name can be out in public domain. But we spoke to the senior officials in the district. They have also cleared the doubt that this is the first arrest. So. He was the person who was giving shelter and who was providing all these aids to these shooters for this particular operation. He is said to be part of the Lawrence Bisnoy gang. That's why the police have gone ahead with arrest of Manpreet Singh, because he was continuously in touch with all those shooters who came to kill Sidhu here in Mansa.
Priyank, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed with the latest in this case. Going back to the discussion, Mr. Mukesh Pandey, you were also giving us a few safeguards which we can perhaps use if we want to protect ourselves from falling into the trap online when we see these baits for loans. Back to you, sir.
Borrowers should actually see if the company, the mobile app which is being reflected there, are they having any physical office? Because most of the app which has been operating, they don't have any physical office. They are just showing the interesting fact. If you're looking for any kind of loan, say 50,000, it is very easily available for you. But the people who is taking all these loans actually are not verifying or going deep down into the details of the company, whether that company who is funding them are registered NBFC or not. So these are the few points a borrower should take initiative before. Education should be there before taking any kind of loan from any bank or NBFCs.
I want to ask you, Amit Dubey, the recent frauds, and I'm just reading out one incident that happened only recently in April 2022 in Delhi, where Delhi police arrested 5 people. Now, in this case, the crime branch found a racket that was running across Delhi, UP and Uttarakhand, unauthorized Chinese microfinance company by the name Cash Advance Ha. That was committing loan app fraud. This obviously is not the only instance, but can you give us some examples? How do they manage to camouflage themselves in a way to look authentic when they are actually malified?
First of all, I also would like to add a few things over here that RBI has recently banned more than 600 such apps. And these were removed from Play Store as well if they were there earlier. But now onwards, if there is any such new app is coming, it is a clone version of the previous app. How do they do it? When we investigated many of these cases, we found that these companies are registered somewhere in Delhi, and at single address, we found more than 2,000 companies were registered. So there are some CAs, those were involved, those could help them to get registered on a single address. So these are level of support that they get. And then, of course, most of their, they don't have any legit office in India. They are operated online, and most of their servers are in China. So even if we seek any such detail from their servers, we never get it. So they have a very safe such modus operandi. They don't even put their applications on Play Store. They circulate it through telegrams and WhatsApp groups. They approach people through call centers. So many of these call centers are running. They are offering such loans, easy loans to people. And these loan amounts are very small. And I have seen these cases around me when one lady came to my house and she was scared, threatened from my own society. And she said that this is happening with her. And I just asked her, how much loan you took? And she took only 2,500 rupees of loan. And her life has become hell after that. So, and she is scared because these guys were actually calling to her in-laws and relatives and family members. And she said these were the times when she was in distress. And somehow she took that loan by just giving a PAN card copy. But now this has become an issue, and this is unsolved issue because these people are changing numbers, calling her from different numbers and sending her obscene images and pictures. So what I'm trying to say is, like, they play so safe that most of their numbers are not having proper KYCs. Their bank accounts may not have their proper KYCs. And even if they are opening a company, it is opened on some such fraudulent addresses. with big fake identity details. So it becomes very difficult eventually if the money is already out or transferred somewhere. It becomes very difficult to conclude that case to some logical end. And I think
Yes.
this is the problem. None of these companies are yet prosecuted properly. Most of them are out, and the investigations are going on.
In January last year, an individual, 36 years old, supervisor of a private warehouse, committed suicide at his residence near Hyderabad. And this is yet another case. Why we are taking this topic is just to warn our viewers that this can become fatal. People get harassed and hounded and take the extreme step. I already gave 2 examples. Mukesh Pandey, you know, the other side also we must bring out for a fair discussion that yes, there are risks involved, but then people do have financial requirements. There are a section of people who may be in financial distress, they are needy. What is the safest way then to go about this? Even if you want to take a digital loan, how can we avail the option and not get into this kind of a situation?
Requirement of loan can be any time for anyone, but before applying for any loan, you should look into the company from which you are taking any loan is registered NBFC or a company who is authorized by registered NBFC to distribute these loans. This is the first thing. Company should have a physical address. Website should have all the details like customer care support email ID and number, and even grievance readdressal email ID. Because if there is any problem with any kind of loan or miscommitment with the loan, you have an option where you can raise your concern. But in these cases, there is no physical addresses, there is no details on the website. They are so desperate in taking the loan that they are not verifying, and after that, they are falling into this problem of getting unwanted calls and harassments.
Absolutely. And even now, we don't know, I mean, whether each one of those loan apps are blocked or not. They still exist even as we speak, and you will find those loan baits being dangled at you online, and that was the whole purpose of this conversation.
There should be a strict policy rolled out from Government of India to Google or such companies who are letting them allow.
Yes.
They should verify each and every documents the company who is registering there as a app company or a loan company or any kind of financial services.
So we do not have those safeguards in place. Absolutely, which is what we question the minister as well.
Being done correctly, that is the main problem.
Yes,
in
absolutely.
Fact, last year, Google has started this policy that if you are uploading any such loan apps, you have to provide your NBFC certificate, you have to provide your license.
But people are not aware, sir. People
important.
are not aware. It's not enough to have those policies in place and then not educate people. That is the whole idea why we thought we should have this discussion, have experts like yourselves to tell us more about how people can be educated and made aware. Thank you so much for joining us, Amit Dubey and Mukesh Pandey. Appreciate your giving us your time.
Thank you, Afrida. Thank you.